bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and welcome to our Wyoming Life, and this is Beyond the Ranch. I'm Mike.
And I'm Erin.
And we're here for another week. How are you this week?
I'm okay, how are you?
Are you okay? Are you sure you're okay? Mm-hmm. You feel okay?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Nobody's sick.
Nobody's sick. We're all good. We might as well just start this off right off the bat and talk about COVID-19, which I'm still wondering what happened to COVID 1 through 18. That has me scared a little bit. But in Wyoming here, we have what, 2 or 1?
3.
3 cases now. Mm-hmm. See, I'm behind. I'm so behind the game. 3 cases now in Wyoming, and they're all in Sheridan?
No. Yeah. One in Sheridan County, which is just the next county over. Fremont County, I honestly don't know where Fremont County is at.
Somebody look that up. Where's Fremont County?
And then a gentleman who is currently in Colorado, but he's connected to I think he's a Wyoming resident. He's connected to the Sheridan County case.
Connected to, like implicated in?
Like they had exposure to each other. Somebody
told me, and hey, JB Weld, thank you very much for the very first super chat there of the evening, $5 super chat. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Somebody told me that there's...
it's Lander in Riverton. Thank you, William.
Oh, thank you very much.
I figured it was down that area.
There's a thing now it's called like cough shaming or sneeze shaming. Has anybody ever had this happen? Has anybody had this happen to them yet, where they have coughed, whether it's into the crook of your arm? Are you supposed to cough still like Count Dracula?
Yeah.
Okay, so you cough like Count Dracula, and you get the dirty look. Right? Is that what it is? Is it shaming the dirty look, or are people actually like beating the crap out of people for sneezing?
I think there's just shaming at this point, but.
We're going to talk more about the coronavirus and all that kind of thing, and how it's affecting the ranch and how it's affecting you guys, and some of our thoughts behind it. But really, first of all, before we even talk about anything, we have to preface this whole thing with neither Erin or I are doctors. So if we talk about anything that has anything to do with medical issues and we don't get it right, that's probably the number one reason.
Yeah,
is
we're
that
not
neither
doctors.
one of us are doctors. But we're closer to lawyers than we are doctors, thanks to YouTube and everything else that we've been doing here. So that's the very first thing that we need to talk about. So William asked, why did the jackalope take the toilet paper? That is the coveted, I'm going to get that bronzed, right? I think we should make a trophy
for
the year, just to celebrate the year. And the year, like the Chinese, they have like the year of the rabbit, year of the pig, year of the horse.
Toilet paper?
It should be the year of the toilet paper, because really toilet paper, if you dig deep and you look in the Bible and you look in the Quran and you look at everything else, the thing that's really going to bring salvation to us as a people, as a society, really, is shit paper. That's what's going to do it. And really, we need to gather around behind it and really start worshiping it at this point, right? Because if people are selling rolls of toilet paper for $20, $30, whatever, and
I've seen $5.
Whatever. Still, that's a lot of money for a roll of toilet paper, right? So we might as well just start worshiping it at this point. I mean, I don't get the toilet paper thing. I get that people want to be in control of something.
Well, and it started of like people freaked out if we're gonna be quarantined for long periods of time. Obviously, yes, you do want to have toilet paper. We
also have a washing machine. And other means.
I know. Okay, so our washing machine has had many animal poop in it.
Animal poops.
Just gonna say that, right? Like, we never did cloth diapers with our kids, but kids have had blowouts. We live on a ranch. Many a washer full of poops have gone through a cycle. So it is what it is.
Right.
Obviously, there's options besides toilet paper. If you get really desperate, it is not the end of the world if somebody runs out of toilet paper.
Right.
But and I think for most people, it's very scary to think about running out. And we'll talk about this probably more. But it is a comfort thing, and it's if somebody is going to buy all of it, like, I want to get mine. Mm-hmm. And so mob mentality.
That's what we've went down, that road, and we'll talk about that coming up. But the toilet paper thing for me is actually, it's control. Mm-hmm. It's something you have control over, right? So you have an issue, a virus out there that nobody
It doesn't.
Actually, if you dig into it, you can find out how bad it is and how people deal with it and stuff like that. But most people don't know. You're used to the flu. You know what the flu does. And so when somebody talks about there's a flu epidemic or flus are going around or the flu is going around, like it's not that big a deal to people anymore. They're like, I know what the flu is. I know how to deal with the flu. They start talking about something new, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't know how to deal with that. I don't know what that is. So I have to find comfort in something. And I think people found comfort in toilet paper, which is really, really
and
weird.
it's extended to other things and stuff now too. I've
Right.
seen.
I mean, everything's got to be, super clean, and you've got, the sanitizing everything, and I mean, there's good and bad to that. I mean, I know plenty of doctors, and Gilbert was this way. Gilbert would eat dirt. I mean, really, Gilbert never got sick. Remember that?
Rarely.
Like Gilbert lived to be 82 years old. Of course, he died, because that's kind of like being sick. But he never got sick. He never got the flu, never got a cold. But he always had like a big old slab of what was that crap? WB.
Long cut.
WB long cut chew. I don't even know who makes that, but or if it just falls like manna from the heavens.
Makes it.
But he always have one of those in, and spit running down and everything else. But the dude never got sick, and we talk about it when I was driving him and stuff like that, and it was always he just never really ever been sick. And was that attributed to Gilbert's immune system was basically always in hyperdrive? Like it had to be like working 900 miles an hour just to keep up with the crap that he was doing and everything else that he had going on, But I often wonder about that. If everything is sanitized and wiped down, are your white blood cells getting the the practice they need?
No, and I saw an interesting article. Gilbert obviously spent lots of time outside every day, less in the wintertime, but lots of time in the summer. And just like we do, full days outside. And I think it was one of the early flu epidemics of the early 1900s. I don't know which one. But they did outdoor therapy, and it was before penicillin and antibiotics
were discovered.
What is outdoor therapy? They would move people outside, and they found that people recovered faster when there was fresh air and sunshine. And if they couldn't put people outside, if they had like cross ventilation where they could open up windows and a breeze would go through, those patients also recovered faster. So.
Yeah. I mean, my dad told me all the time, eat some dirt. Eat dirt. It'll do you good. I mean, if nothing else, it gives your white blood cells something to do. I think if they're sitting on the unemployment line, they're not going to do anything, right? So you kind of push them a little bit. You throw a little work their way. Give them a little. If I drop something on the floor, I'll eat it. I don't care.
If it's wet, don't eat it. Like
I could drop it on the floor in a market in Calcutta, and I would probably still pick it up and eat it, right? Because you gotta do that.
No, you don't.
Well, I do.
There's certain things you don't have to do. Don't eat stuff off the floor.
I've probably dropped a sandwich. I know I've dropped a sandwich in the tractor. Now that's kind of a sterile environment.
No, it's not.
No, well, it's not like there's cows going through the tractor taking a crap in the tractor.
But your boots are covered in crap.
Not all the time.
Oh my God.
I've never dropped like a sandwich in the barn and been like, been chewing my gum, chewing gum in the barn, and have you ever been chewing gum and it pops out of your mouth? You ever had that happen?
Yeah.
And then then you just pick it up off the barn floor and kind of blow it off and put it back in your mouth.
Yeah, and then it has like chunky grit stuck in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, little dirt chunks. I think the kids get used to that. So, I don't know. All right, question from Hourglass Acres. This will take us off subject here for a little bit, but what kind of editing software do you use, and do you still enjoy making videos? That's nobody's ever asked me that question.
Oh, do you still enjoy it?
Nobody's ever asked me if I ever enjoyed it. Really,
That's true.
Nobody's ever said, "Do you like making videos?" Yeah, I do. I mean, it's one of those things that coming up in radio, I worked a lot in editing and sound editing. And I found out that when I started editing videos, it was kind of the same. Like it was the same process, right? So I like it. I don't mind it. It's relaxing to me. It's kind of like it's my time to kind of get away, and it's quiet, and I don't have anybody else around, and I can kind of work through a project from beginning to end. And then at the end of it, you have, it used to be Used to be, you know, when I worked in radio, it was 30-second or 60-second commercials. Well, now
Yeah.
I've got, you know, 10-minute or 20-minute long videos sometimes.
When you get instantaneous feedback from.
I
when
do.
it's-
That's a good thing too.
When as soon as it's posted, you get good or bad instantaneous feedback as soon as it goes live.
I remember walking through, like the radio station after I would make a commercial, right? And you'd find a salesperson. Hey, listen to this. What do you think? Because you wanted that, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
but-
love that. You know.
We lived in like our little bubble though, where like of course we like thought it was awesome.
What are you doing on your phone
I'm
there?
checking. So our the governor of Wyoming, Governor Gordon, just like an hour ago recommended that all schools be closed until April 3rd. Our school district has not made an announcement yet, so I was just checking their Facebook page to see if they have made an announcement, because it would be really nice if Campbell County School District would make that announcement.
So they're on spring break right now.
Yeah, the kids are on spring
And if they
break.
extend it out, then they have 2 extra weeks.
I have 2 extra weeks. So obviously, like, we don't have school this whole week. Monday's our first day of spring break, so I mean we're already planning on having the kids home. So it's not like they have to make an announcement before school happens tomorrow, but it would be really nice if the school district would make that announcement. And Natrona County has said that they are closing. That's in Casper. That's just south of us. Yeah, it would just be nice to know.
So you're checking up on that.
I'm just checking.
Okay. They'll probably call in the middle of this whole thing. Todd Brewer, who is a friend of ours that lives up in Alaska, if you ever do get a chance to come and stay in the farmhouse, if anybody ever travels ever again, with all this junk going on. But Todd is a friend of ours that lives up in Alaska. Todd's been with us for a good couple of years,
Oh, yeah, for
probably
a
more
long
than
time.
that. And Todd's been sending us pictures that he's a photographer and he takes pictures in Alaska, and he's been sending us pictures. And some of those pictures actually do great. I don't think I ever told Todd this, but some of his pictures are on the walls in the farmhouse. So if you ever stay in the farmhouse, you're going to see his pictures. Todd did have a question, and that was about calf number 1. And if we determined what the I got to have something to fiddle with. I got to put that down.
You're fine.
If we determined what was the cause of death with number 1. You know, honestly, it's hard to tell. Without sending the calf away for a necropsy, we'd probably never know. I know that Mom is an older cow. Sometimes that has something to do with it. Sometimes it doesn't. Mom could have fell down. I mean, that could have happened. She could have slipped on the ice.
And we had an ice storm Friday.
Right. Yeah. She could have slipped and fallen, and that put her into
Well,
some
actually,
sort
no,
of.
the ice storm was after she lost the calf.
It
so
was, yeah,
never
you're right.
mind.
But that could have done it. Any number of things. I mean, obviously, it was very early, an early calf, 1 month early, a little bit over. It was pretty close to a month, month and 2 days or something like that. So we don't know. I mean, it could be a number of different things. Do we keep her or not? I mean, that really comes down to when we preg check, and we'll see if she's pregnant again. She's not in bad shape. She's a good cow. She walks. She does her thing. So
Most cows get a second chance, unless like, I mean,
we can't really afford to not give them a second chance
yeah.
at this point.
I mean, we'll just have to see like what happens next fall. So I mean, obviously she'll stay for the summer.
Yeah,
So
yeah, she will stay. So it'll be just another part of the ranch. We'll see what happens with her. We'll make sure that we keep her number available, and you know that we know when she comes through preg checking that we're you know.
if
that
we
we're on
did,
top of it.
yeah, it depends on how, you know, if you end up preg checking again, then, you know, you're obviously not a vet. If we did have a vet check, you know, it'd be like, hey, check out her uterus, make sure from, you know, what you can gather on an ultrasound if everything looks okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we may have a vet actually do ultrasounds this year, because last year we used the IVM ultrasound machine, and they didn't give it to us, obviously. So we might be back in the, unless I can call them up again and be like, hey, can I borrow that thing again? And you know, we go through all that. But we may have an actual vet come out and do it. So,
Yeah, this is an interesting comment from Dan. Saw research this week, 32% of first calves are born dead, usually early birth, unknown cause. Our first 2 were DOA this year, 3 weeks early. Yeah, I mean, it's not an unusual way to start your calving season.
No, and when I mentioned in the video that it's been 2 years since we've dealt with that, I should have clarified and said it's been 2 years since we knew that we dealt with that. Because a lot of times, and Dan will attest this, and anybody else who raises cattle, you'll have a cow that'll slough a calf, and that's what we usually just call it if she has it early and there's no chance of having a live calf. sometimes we don't even know. A lot of times they'll do it around 40 days. Sometimes I've got a really cool picture that I should show you guys someday, and it's a picture of a calf fetus that's literally about the size of your hand.
Yeah, I mean, just like people, they start out really tiny.
Yeah, and I mean, but it looks like a full size calf, just small and no hair. So I mean, a lot of times you lose that first calf, you don't even know it, right? So then by the time you're done calving and you go back and you look and you say, hey, number 41 never had a calf. She probably did. So it's not uncommon, not uncommon at all, and the fact that it happens pretty much to every single rancher. So Melissa said, have Cody Creelman come and preg check for you. That was actually the plan this year. Cody was supposed to be here with IMV, and he had some other stuff come up, and just trying to get schedules to work out really didn't work out very well. So
Lincoln's preschool just closed.
Lincoln's preschool is closed until when?
Till governor recommends we go back to school.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Lincoln,
there we go, one down.
So Lincoln actually goes to a Catholic school. It's a private school, obviously, and they have they have preschool through 8th grade. So
they have preschool all the way through 8th grade. Don't they learn anything? It's a stupid joke. Never mind. Move on.
It's a bad joke.
It's like first preschool, second preschool, third preschool.
So anyhow, that's our largest private school in the county, so they just closed. So
wow.
I would imagine, like we said, our school district will be closing.
It'll happen.
We'll probably get an automated phone call.
Yeah.
Maybe during live stream.
We're going to talk about, coming up tonight in the live stream, we're going to talk about Ranch Roundup. That's something I definitely want to put out there and talk about a little bit and see where people are kind of along those lines. Our governor, along with closing schools down, has actually said that he's strongly recommending against having any gatherings more than 250 people. This year, we were actually really planning on ramping the Ranch Roundup up to more people, so that kind of shot that in the foot. But we're going to talk about that coming up. Also, we have an Armchair Rancher coming up tonight. I know people are looking forward to seeing what the Armchair Rancher is doing on the ranch, and we can all use a laugh, trust me. And some other fun stuff on the way. So first, let's answer a few questions before we get into the meat and potatoes of the thing, and we'll see what's going on. Homeschooling would solve, so Dr. Dixon, homeschooling would solve most of society's problems.
But my relationship is much better with the children when they go learn from somebody else.
I think we have a friend of ours, and some of you may be familiar with him, but his name's Tim Schmoyer, and Tim has a YouTube channel, Schmovies, which actually is pretty good.
No, it's not that. It's not called Schmovies.
Oh, they changed the name of it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I need to catch up.
I don't know what it's called.
But
I
anyway,
can't remember.
Tim has a YouTube channel, and one of the first things when I met Tim, he said, "Oh my gosh, you guys live out there, and you're in Wyoming, and you're rural, and you guys must homeschool." And Erin was talking. I was in Cincinnati, and Erin talked to him on the phone, and he said something about it. And she said, "I like my kids, but I don't like my kids that much." And Tim's face went white, and you could tell that he didn't know Erin, so he didn't really know her sense of humor at all. So he was just like, "Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye."
Yeah. So I think if you can homeschool, I think that's an amazing opportunity to provide your children with. I work like 3 jobs. Like I don't have time to homeschool, and I think. I don't know that you would have to devote 8 hours a day to them because obviously they can learn in a much quicker fashion, and I think that's really beneficial that kids learn at their own pace. But I'm not the parent to teach my kids. When Mackenzie, like when she was in 1st grade and she was learning how to read and she was kind of struggling and like learning those fundamentals, it was very frustrating for both of us to try and help her read. And she's kind of the kid that doesn't, if it's hard, like she doesn't want to do it. And she has a much better reaction to other adults helping her through those problems than she does mom and dad.
Yeah.
It's just not us. So, I would love to see our schools. I don't want to go to school an extra 2 weeks this summer, so if we could do some sort of online learning, that would be great. And we will, if we do end up getting canceled for an extra 2 weeks, like we will make sure that they are reading and doing some math, and we'll use some online tools that I'm already making a list of things we can do. So.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, from Michael Outdoors, did you guys get any chicks this spring? I'm guessing you're talking about baby chicks.
Not yet.
We are kind of planning on it now. So the kids were supposed to have 4-H stuff here over spring break. That got canceled. So we're not
Just like fun stuff, like sewing.
yeah. So, but I mean, obviously, if Mackenzie wants to do a chicken this year for 4-H, we're gonna.
Yeah,
we have to
so-
go. Can we just give her a chicken out of the chicken house? How does this work?
So we have to decide. We have to decide what she wants to do. If she wants to do a meat pen, or if she wants to do a young laying hen, or what we're gonna do. She has to hold a chicken, which is not her like strong suit, so she'll have to commit to it. And I honestly haven't had a chance to talk to her about it. So yeah, I mean, I think the plant, like we have an overabundance of eggs, we have an overabundance of chickens. As long as they stay healthy and we don't have any predator issues, like I don't need any more chickens. Most of them are less than, they'll be a year old this spring. So yeah, I mean, I think we probably would just go down to to Baumgar's or like the feed store and let her pick out like half a dozen or so of them. And from there we would try and get them the friendliest ones for her to take to fair.
How do you decide which chicken is the friendliest?
Well, she's gonna have to play with them.
Oh, okay.
Todd Brewer says the president has called a state of emergency, so your kids don't need to have extra days added. And that's what I was
Oh, did they
figuring
do that?
was
Okay.
going to
Yeah, we were talking
happen.
about that earlier, so yeah, we weren't sure if that happened
That's
or
great
not.
news.
Yeah. So we have a choice here, people, and you guys are going to get to decide this. So we are going to talk more about COVID-19 and COVID 1 through 18 coming up here in just a few minutes. But first, we have a decision to make. We have to decide if we're going to do the armchair rancher now and then hit the heavy stuff, where we're all going to get bogged down and we're going to be like, oh, I need another drink. Or do we just get it over with and then end the show with the armchair rancher? So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Matt, keep track of what we're going to do, and we're going
Everyone's
to take
gonna
a
say
look.
they want the armchair ranch.
Do you think that's what everybody's going to say?
Yeah.
I don't know. Would you rather get, kicked in the gut first and then, get a massage later, or get a massage and then get kicked in the gut?
Oh, COVID-19 is the year because it started in 2019.
Oh, well, see, good point. All right. See, I didn't know that. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right. So it looks like the general consensus is that we go ahead and do the armchair rancher is what it looks like. So shout out to Dan Dashner.
Who's Dan Dash?
Who's Dan Dashner? That sounds relatively familiar, but I'm not sure. JB, call me during the
We don't get your joke, JB.
during the armchair rancher. Let me in on the whole thing here. All right.
Wrenching from his keyboard, he doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
Are we muted?
Hey, armchair. Where is that kid?
Hey, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty.
AC, where are ya?
Hey, Mike, I'm coming.
Hey, AC.
Mike, what do you need? Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, kid, how was your first week on the ranch?
Oh man, it is so awesome. I have a great little setup in the barn, and I've already been learning so much. I found out that pigs have hooves, not paws. And I learned that when it gets cold enough, your nose will actually stop running because it freezes solid. And that no cow likes it when you call her bossy. No woman either. Sorry, Erin.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. Good life plan, too. All right, I got a couple things for you to do today. This is your list. Finish this up, and then you can take the rest of the day off. After all, it is Sunday. So good luck to you.
Yeah, I don't know why Mike gives me lists of stuff to do. He could just tell me and save a tree. I can remember what I'm supposed to be doing from 1 second to the next. What is this? Oh yeah, it's my list. Okay, so it says, it's Sunday, and on the third Sunday of the month, that's always our monthly welfare meeting. We meet with the cows to make sure that they're up on the rules, and we head into calving season. There's a few extra rules. So anyway, here we go, into the gator. Let's go and meet with the cows. You know, it would have been nice if Mike would have called a meeting in a nice conference room or something. You know, I need to put that on the project list. Ranch boardroom, a nice place for our monthly meetings. You know, it took me a little while to get used to driving the Gator. Who would have thought that a go-kart could be such a pain? But I never did get my driver's license, but I can tell you that I can play the heck out of Grand Theft Auto. All right, everybody gather around. Guys, girls, pay attention. Mike called me out here to run this month's meeting. Obviously, he trusts me with this huge, important task, and I'm gonna be in charge soon, and that means that you need to pay attention. Item number 1, you girls need to calm down and take it easy on the ice. I know you can get excited, but it gets slippery, and I'm working on a new invention, cleats for cows, but you know, it's still way far down in the testing process, and I really need Nike to sponsor it. So just cool your heels just a little bit. Number 2, Mike requests that nobody have a calf in the next couple of weeks. Number 41, talking to you. You need to keep your legs crossed and take an Imodium AD or whatever you girls have to take. Keep those calves inside you for just a little bit longer. Those are the rules. And if you do have to download a calf, no calving at night. I'm told that we will be out here strictly enforcing that rule all night. Oh, wait a minute. Correction. Not we. I. Me? I'm going to be out here all night long? What about my beauty sleep? Not that I need that, but I still need time to beat Candy Crush. Well, I have to go talk to Mike about this list. I guess I should finish up a couple other items on my list. Easy stuff, though. Just have to gather some supplies. Let's see. A shelf stretcher and 75 feet of fallopian tubing. Huh. Should be no problem, because I'm the armchair rancher.
Wrenching from his keyboard, he doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
Imodium AD apparently is what does the trick.
To keep it in?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, I think that could induce labor.
Well, you think it would, and otherwise, don't take your cows and let them walk around Walmart either. Because isn't that what we did when you were pregnant? We went and walked around Walmart like constantly. Like it was like
A lot, yeah.
every few weeks or every few. I think
Every day.
every day
like at
we
the
went and
end.
walked around Walmart.
Or somewhere. I mean, I would just.
And
Well,
if we were going to get sick, that's when we would have gotten sick. Oh my gosh, we were in Walmart like every single day.
but there was no COVID-19.
Well, no.
And that was just with Mackenzie so much because she was born in January, whereas the other two were born in the summer, and I was farming, so I did not need to go walk at the end of the
No,
day.
you did not.
I needed to lay down. Sorry to everybody who could hear me while we were discussing when we came back from the break. I asked Mike if I was muted.
Oh,
if
you're
we
going
were
to throw
muted.
me under the bus? You're going to
Yeah.
throw me under the bus?
Yeah. I asked Mike, are
Bus.
we muted?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah,
I
we're
did.
muted.
I'm sorry.
So-
I apologize. $100 super chat from Dr. Dixon. Thank you very much, Doc. That's awesome. You are just.
Thank you.
You're crazy. I really should travel to Texas and do some work for Doc Dixon. In fact, I should probably just take Blonde Cow with me. Like she has been bugging me up and down. She's like, Dr. Dixon would take better care of me, and she's probably right. I'm pretty sure that if Blonde Cow was with Dr. Dixon, then there would be she would want for nothing. Obviously. All right, we did have some questions about mail call, and mail call we haven't done for a
Wait,
while.
did you do the super chat from Owl ID Check?
Oh yes, yeah, you should really chill. Armchair, $10 super chat there from Owl ID Check. You should really sell AR belt buckles. By the way, volume low. Is our volume low? Does anybody else notice if our volume's too low? Somebody give me a shout out and let me know. But turn your volume up if you have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if we have a 3-week break from school, maybe we can just have Mackenzie start pumping out those Armchair Rancher belt buckles.
Well, the funny thing is, like the belt buckles that I have, like they're made by a company in Iowa, and we sell them on our website. You can buy this belt buckle, this very same one. I should talk to him about doing a giant.
Yeah, I mean, even those are expensive.
They
so,
are kind of pricey. Yeah, they're handmade. I mean, they're literally, a guy has like a small garage and he makes them for us. I don't know how the heck we lucked into this guy. Great dude.
Well,
But
you looked on the belt buckle that you were wearing, and I'm like, oh, who made this? And then let me contact that
no,
company.
it wasn't that easy because the company that made it had gone under.
Yeah, but it was
and then
just
this
like-
guy had
You
worked
act like
for
we,
that company at one
like
point.
it was
It
left
took a
in-
little bit of work
It
to
took
find
like
this guy.
15 minutes of internet searching.
Oh my gosh, you totally downplay my my struggles, man. Of course, good point. William Dunn, who's one of our moderators here tonight, he recently got himself a CNC machine,
Oh yeah,
so he could make a belt buckle
for Armchair Rancher.
for Armchair Rancher. Now, he's a big copycat. Armchair Rancher is, right. So he wears the same boots that I do. He has the same wallet that I do. He's got the same ear pierce that I do. That kind of thing. Big copycat. But that's okay. If he wants a belt buckle, we'll get him his own belt buckle.
He's got
So
one.
anyway, I was talking about mail call before
Yeah.
I was so rudely interrupted by something or other. I don't remember what it was, but we were talking about mail call, and really, like, mail call is kind of dried up. We really haven't been.
We haven't even talked about
We haven't
it.
been talking about it too much. But if you are interested, we do a thing that's called mail call, where you can send us a product or an item or something you make, whatever you'd like, and we receive it. We talk about it on the channel. Now. This is actually a homemade item that was sent to us. It's a homemade pillow. Beautiful.
We lost the note.
We lost the note. Erin lost the note.
I did not lose the note.
But so I don't have a note to read with it. But very beautiful pillow.
Mail call organization is your responsibility.
That's my responsibility. We did not have. We need a board. I think the Armchair Rancher is right. We need a boardroom.
We have a whole studio up here.
The cows can't come in here and be a part of it.
No, they don't need to be.
Bambi would want to be.
She stands
If
up
Bambi
okay
could climb her fat butt up the stairs, she would be in this room with us right now. I guarantee it.
I know, every day she looks over the fence. Yesterday I was in the grow room and that looks out at the cows, and we just like I was washing trays and stuff. We just stared at each other.
She just stared at you?
Yeah. All the cows do. They watch me a lot in the afternoons from that fence.
They don't watch you. They can't see you.
Yeah, they can.
They can see you in the window?
Yeah. You
In-
think they
in your
can't
little grow room?
You think they can't see through the clear glass?
Grass? Unless you're in front of that window, you can't see anything.
The sink is right in front of the window.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about your
They
grow
can
room for
see
a minute.
me.
Actually, this is a good segue. Good segue, Erin. Let's talk about your grow
You
room
need to
a
put
little
more
bit.
7-Up in that drink.
I'm fine. Look at me go. All right, so let's talk about your grow room a little bit. And
Oh, it's from Dean. That's what we were just thinking.
that's what we thought. I thought it was Dean, but I didn't really want to. Okay, so I felt bad because when
Put
Armchair
it back
Rancher.
on our faces.
Sorry. When the Armchair Rancher thing was going, I was like, I know that Dean sent us this
You're like,
pillow.
I think, Dean.
Okay, I said
I'm
I
just
think.
calling you out on all your crap tonight.
Why are you doing this to me? Anyway, so I said, I am pretty sure that, Dean's asking about mail call because he did send us this pillow. I lost the note. I'll admit to that, okay?
I often hand you stuff. I'm like, this needs to go upstairs for mail call.
Honestly, I didn't really lose the note. I'm sure it's somewhere
It's
over
over
here.
here, probably.
Over here in one of these
During
messes.
Christmas break, and we have not done a mail call since Christmas break. We got quite a bit of stuff during Christmas break, and then sent thank yous and stuff. But it just
Or made phone calls. We did a lot of that,
yeah,
too.
it just got kind of craziness during Christmas, and we just kind of.
One of the bad things about mail call is, you hate to leave anybody out, right? I mean, you hate to say, hey, I forgot your thing. Because then that makes somebody feel bad, and then somebody gets mad, and blah, 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 blah. But Dean, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We do appreciate the pillow. The pillow's actually been living right over here on this chair.
They can't see it.
No, sorry. I'll just hold it. I'll make it, it'll be my comfort pillow. How's that? Michael Outdoors asked about the picture that's next to us. You rarely ever get to see this side of things because usually it's sitting over here. And this picture
They can't
is,
see it either. Put it back on the normal camera.
yes, director. I just touched my face. You know what else I realized about this whole thing? I love touching my face.
Everybody's realized that. It's
my
not
gosh.
new. Everybody, have you not been on the internet for the last week? Everybody
really.
loves it.
Really? Fine. All right, so this is a picture that was taken in Indiana. I actually showed it in the last what was the last video before that, and we showed this picture. But this is a picture of myself and Matt Fensel, who's one of our moderators, along with Tammy Rush and Dave Rush, who are here as well. And then Tammy Fensel, I can't show her face though because that has to be redacted because she gets mad at me when I show her on the internet. So that is all of those guys. We keep them over here. They hang out with me. They give me strength. All right. So we do have more coming up tonight for you. Some more fun
let's back
stuff.
to the grow room.
But let's get back to the grow room. Thank you very much. All right. So I built Erin a grow room. If you missed those videos, go back and watch them because I could use the 1/8 of a cent. And this is, what are we looking at here, Erin?
So these are microgreens that certain microgreens have to be soaked for 8 to 12 hours or overnight. And so these were all seeds that I soaked yesterday, and so they needed to be seeded today. So if we start from the bright green side, those are mung bean shoots. Next to it is peas, sunflowers, and then beets and chard is on the opposite side of the mung beans. So those are seeded and ready to be stacked so they can start germinating.
The grow room, we obviously started building it, a couple months ago, and now it's done. The shelves look a little bare.
Yeah, so yesterday I started all of our tomatoes and peppers for summer season. So one germinating, and I sent you a picture of it. Do you have it?
Yes.
One of the germinating tents is full, but yeah, the shelves are empty. But all those black trays up there, that's all microgreens, and a lot of microgreens like to have weight on them, or they germinate better, or it helps remove.
So they like to have like a brick sitting on them? Or
Yeah,
something?
some of them we put bricks on. Some of them just the weight of other trays on top of them is enough, and so a lot of those are stacked. So there's actually about 8 trays up there that once they germinate will go underneath the light.
Also in the grow room, the whole thing is white, obviously. And why is the grow room white?
I just wanted it to be as bright as possible so we get as much light reflection as possible in there. It also just looks nice. I don't really love the floor being white.
You want carpet?
No, I don't want carpet.
Okay, well, I'm just like shag carpeting, like green shag.
Oh yeah, that'd be great with all the dirt.
But it would look like grass. It would look like
No.
grass was, oh my gosh, okay.
No, it's obviously I track in a lot of mud and I get stuff wet and I'm seeding, so there's lots of dirt and stuff. But if it was black or a dark color, it would show up too. But
Yeah.
it does mop really nicely. I did mop it this week and sanitize it, and yeah, it's really nice. We put up some shelves this week. I did my first harvest of microgreens, so I had to bring in my my clamshell containers. I've got all my trays that I've ordered. We're up and running.
So underneath the veil, the purple veil, I'm guessing is what that's in there. There are seeds that are germinating.
Yeah, so if you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, I posted a picture yesterday when I was done. So there's nothing's up yet because it was just seeded yesterday, but there's 33 different varieties of tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant, and some bok choy.
Bok choy. What is bok choy?
It's an Asian cabbage, an Asian green.
I know I've had it. I just really,
You had
I really
it.
don't know what it is.
And chicken fried rice yesterday.
I did. It
and
was
today.
very good. Patricia Motto here showing up. Patricia texted me not long ago and said, "Mike, I don't think I'm going to make it tonight."
Aw, you
nicest,
made it.
nicest person in the world. She texts me and tells me she's not going to make it. Patricia, thank you very much for coming out with us this evening. And thank you to our other friends who are here as well, including EZ1913,
Yeah, the
who's my
wheels.
delinquent friend that lives in pretty close to Las Vegas, Nevada. Michael Outdoors here with us. Kyle Wessels, who's a good time friend. James Stephenson. Alex Jacobs from Crook County, Illinois. Also, Tam Taz, who has to claim Matt Fensel most of the time. 95% of the time she claims him. And our friends, lots of friends in here. Robert Doring, who is actually...
He left.
He left. Well, he was a friend. Thank you very much, guys, for hanging out with us this evening. We have obviously some big things, some big plans coming up on the ranch here before too long, and that is the ranch roundup. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes and talk about how coronavirus and all this kind of stuff is affecting that, and actually get your opinion on what we're going to do with that. That's coming up here in just a few minutes, but first we're going to take a few questions from the Peanut Gallery, who the leader of the Peanut Gallery tonight is William Dunn. Any sweet corn this year?
Yeah, we spent just a few rows. Not a lot.
I like sweet corn. I like sweet corn better than like normal corn.
You don't eat it? Well,
Okay, I'm weird about corn. Erin will tell you this.
Okay,
too.
but all corn that we eat is sweet corn.
I like sweet corn. That's all I'm saying. But I am weird about corn. I don't like gnawing on the cob. I don't like
But you said I like sweet corn more than other corn. What other corn are you eating?
sour corn. I don't know. Isn't there other? Why would they call it sweet corn if there's not another kind of corn?
Field corn for animal feed.
So all corn is sweet corn?
All corn that we eat is sweet corn.
That people
Unless
eat,
like
or just
popcorn.
us in general?
Popcorn.
Us in general, or like everybody in the world? I always thought sweet corn was like a special thing, like a
No.
special kind of corn.
He eats grain corn.
Hey, Daniel, be nice. I always thought sweet
there's
corn
more
was
than
like a
one-
special kind of corn.
No.
My whole illusion in life is shattered in one.
You can tell
guys have just watched somebody who has known something for 40 some odd years of their life that has always thought that there was a special, like sweet corn was like a special kind of corn.
Well, it is.
Okay, but
But all the corn that we eat as people is sweet corn. Unless, I mean, popcorn's not sweet. That's a type of corn.
you put salt on it, that becomes salt corn.
Caramel corn.
Caramel corn. Yeah. Or cheddar corn. Amazing how that works, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So we have all that going for us. Let's take a
Yes,
few more
it's just
questions.
called sweet corn to distinguish it from animal feed. But I do think it's been bred to be sweeter than
I
the
always
typical
thought there
animal
was like
feed.
a different kind of corn. I thought sweet corn was a different kind of corn that you would grow in your garden, right? For people. Like you would have normal corn and you would have sweet corn. That was like a corn with more sugar in it or something. Anyway, never mind. I'm just going to stop because I'm digging myself a giant, big fat hole. Thanks, William. Thank you very much. You're getting a really nasty text message after we're done
Yes,
with this.
there will be sweet corn for your enjoyment.
I guess.
And the corn in the can, if you can find any, is also, it literally says sweet corn on it.
I've seen cans that say corn, though, too, right? And I'm really confused on how you grow creamed corn, because how the hell does it stay in the cob? Like it'd probably just ooze out and like drip on the ground, right? Really, I'm not that stupid. Trust me. I see Scott agree. Scott's whatever. All right, I'm fine. We're moving on. All right, moving right along. What do you want to talk about?
We can talk about Ranch Roundup. So yeah, I saw a comment that CDC has banned all large gatherings. Our governor has recommended no gatherings.
Oh, is that new? Did they just ban all large
Well,
gatherings?
I think they can't really stop us. I mean, we can. Everything's been up to states and even local communities. So just like our governor has recommended all schools stay closed, our school district still has not announced. So it's up to really local communities. So we will be in contact with our local officials and following their recommended guidelines. But as of right now, our governor has just said he recommends to reconsider all gatherings over 250. So there is no ban on large gatherings. But we were going to put Ranch Roundup tickets on sale March 31st. So if the next week, we start seeing improvements in the virus situation, we could still proceed. Plans are still proceeding as normal. Like we are still planning and moving forward with that. We're not canceling.
Well, we kind of have to like plan it out.
Yeah, we have to plan
I mean,
it.
obviously we have sponsors and stuff too, like right, like so sponsors obviously have.
Quit fiddling with the camera.
Sorry, I'm playing with the camera. They have.
Can you back it up?
Back up the camera.
Dislike it when it's so close.
You don't want to be able to like see the pores in your face.
No. Well, then you can't see the jackalope.
Okay, fine. Sorry, Jackie. Does the jackalope have a name?
Jackalope.
Okay, fine, jackalope. So, yeah, like we have sponsors involved. I'm very proud to announce that this week, Michelin Tires USA, whatever you want to call them, is the title sponsor of the Ranch Roundup. So it's going to be the Michelin Our Wyoming Life Ranch Roundup, or however we decide to do that. But yeah, like what do we do with the Ranch Roundup? Now, obviously, one of the things that we always run into is with ticket sales. And like last year, we decided that ticket sales were non-refundable, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's the thing is like we haven't put any money down on anything yet, but like we're getting real close to like stuff's going to need deposits and stuff. So if we continue with plans, we're going to start spending money, and if nothing else. And I don't know the legalities of this, but like we pay we lose the transaction fee when you guys pay with your credit cards, and then if we refund you your money,
we lose it again.
We lose it again, and so we'd have to pay two-way transaction fees. So even if we just said,
So we could do if you bought tickets, you can get a refund less 10%.
Yeah, so it's not legal in most
you can't do
states
that?
to charge for transaction fees.
right.
We can ask you if you would like to pay your transaction fees, but you cannot make it a mandatory charge in Wyoming to
charge people. For
to charge
transaction
people.
fees, yeah.
And it's just the cost of doing business, and obviously like being able to take credit cards is a huge beneficial thing for us. We couldn't do online ticket sales without taking credit cards, and so that's just a cost of doing business. Just like I take credit cards in the farm store, I did at farmers market for years. I never charged a consumer or customer for those transaction fees. That is just my cost of doing business, and it is factored into my cost of goods.
So what if we did, I'm just spitballing here, what if we did a deal where we could say you can buy tickets for the Ranch Roundup. Now this is contingent on the world straightening up or whatever else. But like up until 30 days prior to the event, you can still get a refund. See what I'm saying?
How are we gonna pay for the transaction fees?
I don't know.
More than anything, what we think that we will probably do is that we're just going to wait and not put tickets on sale quite yet.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we've talked about. You've been part of these conversations.
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah, and when we go ahead and when we put on ticket sales, like we might have to account for an extra amount of money.
I mean, yeah, maybe we do like Scott just mentioned. Why don't you charge an extra 10% for the fee?
Yes, but if we don't have to refund and the event goes forward, like you guys are paying an extra 10% that we didn't need to charge you. I would rather just wait.
You're way too ethical.
Yeah.
You
Sorry.
Have, oh my gosh. You're the lady, and this is funny, but like you're the lady in the grocery store that's not buying everything because you're like, somebody's going to come behind me and need toilet paper.
Yeah, so
But the person behind you buys 18, packs, but whatever.
Some states it's legal to charge a convenience fee, others it's not.
Right.
So we'll potentially consider like what the cost of doing a full refund will be, and that might have to go into the prices of tickets. But I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's interesting because like we don't know. Like this whole thing could blow over by June. I doubt it because it's an election year, so it's going to drag all the way out until election day. But like it's gonna end at some point, right? So, do we cancel the whole event? Do we still put tickets on sale? How does this? Here's a good question. If you were going to come to Ranch Roundup, and I put tickets on sales tomorrow, would you buy tickets? Because that's what really, because it's hard for us to say, okay, now we have this many tickets sold, now we have to have this many porta potties, or we have to have this many people here that are going to be doing roping demonstrations, or going to be teaching how to play horseshoes, or whatever else we're doing. That's the hard part, to be able to judge that, and then you never know. What are you laughing at?
Brandon's comment.
Brandon, I'm glad someone else has a wife that tells her husband they talked about it and it's been decided. Brandon, do you notice that too? Really? Brandon,
Like,
come
we
over here. Step
literally-
over to the side. We got to have a little conversation
We had this
over here.
conversation about like what we are potentially doing, and
Okay, potentially.
Yeah.
This is the key word.
yeah, but now you start talking about other things with the whole internet that we have not discussed, and
I know.
you've
I
been told that this is not an acceptable form of behavior. So.
Oh my God. She's going to hit me with a newspaper
So
soon.
obviously, if we do decide to go forward with Ranch Roundup and tickets when they do go on sale, if you are immune compromised, if you're not healthy, if you're at risk of the virus, don't buy tickets and don't come. We will have it next year. It's ultimately you guys are going to have to assume the risk.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just a portion of the ticket will not be refundable or something. We don't know yet, but.
So as of now, when are tickets going to be on sale for the
We
Ranch
don't
Roundup?
know yet.
You just told me you knew.
We were thinking April 15th. Do you remember the conversation?
Not really. I think you might have had this conversation with somebody else.
No, you and I have talked about it
Okay.
multiple times.
Was I awake?
We talked about just postponing about 2 weeks and going like April 15th.
Right. The problem is that, you know, obviously the farther back we push ticket sales, then you're obviously affecting everything else, right? So even like the hotel, like Towers, the Best Western, is it Best Western? Best Western, we're working with them for hotel rates. So you can cancel with them, I think it's up to 72 hours prior to the event that you can cancel. And they've probably changed that because everybody's shaken down their whole cancellation. I mean, like literally, like airlines now, you can cancel up until like the moment the plane leaves, and there's no fees now. Even Airbnb, like we have the house across the road through Airbnb, and they changed their whole cancellation procedures because of the whole coronavirus thing. So it's
I mean, so like we just talked about, like we go to a certain point and we can make plans and we can reserve stuff, but at a certain point we have to start putting money down. And so at that point, like we are moving forward. And unfortunately, like we're not a huge company that can absorb those costs if we do cancel. So even the transaction fees forward and backwards is thousands of dollars for the amount of tickets that we were planning on selling. And so that's just not, I would rather be cautious and wait a few extra weeks. And I don't want you guys to buy tickets for an event and then we have to cancel it and I can't give you 100% of your money back. Because the credit card company takes 2.9% plus 10 cents each way and back, forward and backwards.
yeah.
So, I
Oh
mean,
my gosh.
and a lot of people brought 4 or 5 or 6 people, like were part of their group size. So,
Yeah, Brenda, I'm gonna mispronounce your last name here, but it's Hyslop. Brenda has been Brenda's in Australia. I don't know what time it is in Australia right now, but she has been commenting on videos for years. Brenda, thank you very much. I'm very happy that you were able to finally make a live stream. We're happy to have you here. Brendan Outdoors or Michael Outdoors asked, "What does your shirt say?" What does it say?
it says relentless. It's
This
from
is
Ariat.
This is an Ariat shirt that they sent me to wear.
PayPal has fees too, Tim.
Yep, everybody's got fees.
Everybody has fees.
Actually, when you buy something on our website, it usually 9 times out of 10 goes through PayPal, doesn't it?
I'd say it's about, you can do credit cards or PayPal, and I'd say it's about, I don't know, it seems like it goes in spurts where we get a lot of PayPal, but there's a fee too with PayPal. So there's a fee with everybody. Everybody has to do business.
Everybody makes money, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the big question is if...
She's from Arizona.
Oh, I'm sorry, from Arizona. Whoops, my bad.
Australia.
I thought she was from Australia, from Arizona. My gosh. Wow.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. My bad.
Put Arizona in red on our note screen. Hi, Zach.
Wow.
From
Hey,
Colorado.
our last moderator here showing up a little late for work. He might not be in Colorado though, because Zach is a world traveler, and probably not for. I mean, I don't know. I mean, would I want to be a world traveler right now? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of weird. But anyway, so moving right along. Yeah, that's the big question with the Ranch Roundup. I mean, do you hope for the best and prepare for the worst, or do you just say, "Oh, hell with it, we're just going to go ahead and push forward and make it happen"? You know.
I think in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we'll have a more clear idea of what the situation is going to look like. So obviously, we don't want to make anybody sick. We also don't want somebody to bring the virus to our doorstep. So I mean, we're gonna. Even like the farm store, like there's been a lot of talk about like what we're gonna do at the farm store. Megan and I have been talking about what we're gonna do.
I actually
with
heard a
veggie
rumor today
baskets.
that in Chicago's running out of meat. Oh. Like they can't get meat in there fast enough. People are buying meat like toilet paper.
So the farm store will stay open as long as possible. I will obviously make sure to clean and sanitize more often than I already do. Veggie baskets for Edible Prairie Project will continue. If the virus becomes a huge issue, we will structure it so people do not have to see each other. Farm Store could operate on an honor system too, where these are the prices and leave the money in the box if the situation gets really bad. We do have a meat sale coming up this week in the Farm Store. If you are hoarding groceries, stop it.
Yeah. And if you're looking to separate yourself from society altogether, we have a very quick and easy solution for that.
Hi, I'm Mike from the YouTube channel Our Wyoming Life, and if you're looking at self-quarantining, I have a method for you. Whether you're avoiding the coronavirus, in-laws, door-to-door toilet paper salesmen, or the myriad of other crazy people out there in the world today, you're just one step away from isolating yourself from it all. The process of becoming someone that lives on the edge of society, somebody who doesn't trust anyone and always looks a little bit off themselves, is easy, and it can be done in just 3 easy steps. Find some land, get some cows, and enter calving season. That's right. If you want to check out from this crazy society, become as close to a hermit as you can and not have any contact with anyone, just get into calving season. As an added bonus, you will wash your hands more than you have the entire past year, as you'll get more than just dirt in places you never thought you'd find it before. And as an added bonus, the germs you will encounter will give your immune system plenty of practice, just in case you need that extra boost of health force. You won't get sick. You can't get sick because nobody else will do the job for you. And you won't even have time to get sick because you'll work 24 hours a day. It's called calving season. It's the best antisocial, self-quarantining, immune-boosting plan you can find on the market today. Go to Our Wyoming Life to find out more. While you're there, check out the Jerky Prepper Kits. They're for the man with a bug-out kit on the go. See ya.
That's right. If you want to avoid society, all you have to do is really just calve. That's all it takes. It's so simple. It's not that hard. In fact, we can actually look outside right now. This is the webcam that views off of the back side of the house, and you can watch it at ourwyominglife.com. There's some cows out there moving around. I don't see anybody. This is how I check cows during live stream, right? I have to like log in occasionally and be like, all right, 6:55 and 45 seconds, and there's no cows doing anything funky. Except for this morning, I woke up this morning and looked out the window and I was like, oh, there's a cow having a calf. And I thought for sure she was down, you
thought she was cleaning a calf.
I thought she was cleaning a calf off.
Yeah.
And it was not. It was a piece of net wrap that she was licking the hay
She
out
was
of.
cleaning it up.
Thank you very much, Owl ID Check.
Thank you.
$20 super chat. This should have been the Bloomberg video.
I wouldn't change anything about the Bloomberg video, but there were some good points in your little commercial that you made.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, we talk about it all the time. In fact, we have a video maybe, which one of these, so I get ideas for videos, what to make videos about. And like, I was kind of thinking about making a video about how the ranch survives without civilization. Like, I mean, really, could we, as a unit, survive on our own without garbage service? I don't know, without McDonald's, without Walmart, all that kind of stuff. Could we actually, do what we want to do? And could we survive on beef jerky, kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, we have a much different food situation from most people because we do sell meat, so we have tons of literally freezers full of meat. And then it's, we're right at the beginning of our growing season. So here, and with microgreens now, like I'm already harvesting green stuff. So, we're right at the very beginning of our season. And if we were not going to have, if the situation turned really bad, I would just limit what I would sell and we would just preserve everything. And so we're in a much different situation than the average American, and we have plenty of toilet paper, so we're good.
I've got 3 or 4 pairs of socks I don't need either.
Yeah, so I feel very fortunate. There's a few things that we would miss. The kids drink a lot of milk. Like almost a gallon a day, but we wouldn't starve. Grace would run out of ketchup.
So that's a funny story. Like we were talking, you went to the grocery store a couple days ago.
I went on Friday afternoon.
And we were talking about like what we need and what we don't need. Obviously, we're running low on this, so we might need. This is something I can't make, but.
Well, you can.
Well, technically, I could, couldn't I?
We've got grain.
Yeah, true. But you had,
and we'll have sweet corn.
You had a moment though at the grocery store where the shelves are going bare, which is a weird
So I went
thing, right?
Friday afternoon, which is pretty much part of like my normal routine is to go Thursday or Friday and get enough stuff at least to make it through like Monday. Usually plan a few meals, and then I always buy 4 gallons of milk at a time, and like we need that through the weekend because the kids will drink a gallon of milk a day. And so then like midway through the week, like Tuesday, I pick up more milk and a few more things. And so it was just time to go grocery shopping, and the produce section was fine. There was lots of meat, lots of dairy, but like certain things like ramen was gone. We shouldn't be eating ramen anytime.
It's cheap. That's the thing. It's cheap. So you can buy 4,000 of them for $8. You know?
Yeah. So there was some stuff that was out of ramen. The canned good aisles were.
By the way, I'm not saying anything bad about ramen. I actually like ramen.
Yeah, but it's not good for you.
A little salty.
And we never buy it.
No.
And so.
I ate a lot of it as a kid, though.
Yeah, I mean, and I've eaten plenty of it too, but it's not part of our normal. It's not on my grocery list, so we don't have any ramen.
Todd asked, "What do we pay for milk down here?" Depends where you go. If you go to the gas station, it's like $5 a gallon.
You're not supposed to buy milk.
I bought milk at the gas station at 6 o'clock in the morning the other morning
because we ran out,
we ran
and
out
I
of
didn't
milk.
want to go at 9 o'clock at night whenever we were done. $2.99 to $3.50 is what we pay, depending on if it's on sale. So yeah, lots of stuff was sold out. This was Friday. I'm sure it got worse by the weekend. Rice was gone. All the ramen was gone. Red potatoes were gone. I didn't go down like the toilet paper aisle, but I kind of like glanced out on my way by and was like, oh yeah, that's pretty empty. I don't know what the stores look like now. We are good for several days, except for milk will be the one thing that we will have to decide if I'm going to try and go to the grocery store for milk, or we're going to drink Kool-Aid or water. So yeah, we'll see.
The interesting thing, and one of the things we actually talked to a friend of ours, well, through a second person because I didn't actually talk to him in person, but somebody who's in charge of a medical division for an entire state, right? And we talked about the coronavirus and how dangerous it really is. And one of the things that came up is that us having a voice that can actually reach many different people. We obviously, like I said in the beginning, we're not doctors, but we do want to make people, realize that it's not the end of the world, number one.
Yeah.
Like, we all have family, we have older parents, we have siblings, whatever else that we don't want to see get sick. We know that. And we know it's important to wash your hands and sing the alphabet, or I will
Sing Happy
survive, or
Birthday
happy
twice.
birthday, or whatever you need to sing while you're I was doing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and I got through like Duck before I got bored and tired of washing my hands. But it is important to make sure that you are taking all the precautions you can to make sure that you're not getting your family members sick and everything else.
Yeah.
At the same time, hoarding toilet paper is not going to save the world.
No.
I mean,
and it was like a weird situation when I was in the grocery store Friday. Like, first of all, I couldn't get a parking spot. And then I couldn't find a shopping cart. I had to go to the liquor store and get a shopping cart.
they have shopping carts at the liquor store?
I got the last one.
Wow.
And then like I said, the produce section was fine for the most part. And then as I started moving further in the store, finding more stuff that was out of, and it was real easy I had to like stop myself a few times from being like, oh, we need more ketchup, because like we already have a backup of ketchup, and like we're not gonna die if we don't have ketchup.
Right.
And there was lots of things that I like walked by that I was like, oh, I should get this, and it's like, no, we won't. I won't eat this. We won't use this. It's not part of our normal, like tuna. I was like, oh, I should grab some tuna. That will obviously last a long time. I don't know the last time, like I would
we
eat.
have tuna last time.
I would eat a tuna sandwich if someone made it, but like I never make it. So it's just like, we don't need this. So leave it for somebody else who actually does eat that food, and they will need that. So obviously you want to take care of your family and make sure that you have the stuff that you're going to need. I was gonna buy like some flour and sugar. That was all gone. Certain things like I already buy like rice in bulk. We don't eat a lot of beans. I made sure we had like chicken stock. Like I buy a chicken stock like concentrate. Like I can use that to make a whole lot of stuff. We have plenty of meat. We do have some, like I have vegetables in the freezer already. So I mean, it's just like make sure that you're not buying stuff that you won't normally use. just buy what you need. And then in a few months, when hopefully this all blows over, like if there's stuff in your pantry that has been there since the coronavirus, donate it to your local food bank.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I've got a friend of mine that lives in Los Angeles, and he was texting me about, he works for the fire department, and he said that, fire departments are going out on calls to elderly people's houses because they don't have any food, and obviously if you're living on a budget, number one, and a fixed budget at that, like you can't drop everything in the middle of the month and go buy 400 things of top ramen, right?
Yeah.
So when it does come
And
time
if you're
where you
on
can
a fixed
actually buy
income,
something.
if you're on a fixed income, or you're on SNAP, or you're on WIC, you're probably buying ramen. Like
Right.
that's probably part of your monthly.
But
food
except
plan.
for some jackass who makes $80,000 a year went and bought all the ramen. So you're in a weird situation.
Yeah.
So I know that I rarely ever ask people to do anything on our channel. But one of the things that when we're in a situation like this, I don't have any problem asking you guys, because I know that you guys will respond to this ask, and that is that if you have the ability to help out somebody else, whether it's a neighbor that needs a roll of toilet paper or whatever else it is, kind of think beyond yourself and think, that this isn't really this isn't the end of the world. You may have went and bought 14, packages of toilet paper. That's fine. But, there's somebody else that came behind you that came to buy that toilet paper and they don't have it. So
we buy toilet paper on Amazon and in bulk and stuff, and we didn't get any this month, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have to find some, and this mob mentality, and we've succumbed to it too, of it's gonna be gone. And my concern was there's gonna come a point where we're actually gonna need it, and what if we can't get it? But we did find some on Amazon. It's coming. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And then we can, and there's some we can
share. Toilet paper is manufactured within the United States.
Yes.
We're not going to run out of toilet paper, right? But I've taken up to answering the phone when people call me. How many rolls of toilet paper you need? What do you need? Because I do believe that there are people in your building. There's people on your block. There's people within your circle who are going to need something, and that's going to be something that you may have the ability to give. And at the time, obviously, this mentality that everybody has right now, it's hard to say, I don't need 3 bottles of ketchup, right?
Yeah, but you're still going to be able to get ketchup.
You're still going to be able to get ketchup. Yeah. So even if you have that ability, feel free to step out there. If you do something great, let me know, because I would actually, next live stream, I'll throw the props your way if that's what you want. I don't care. It's just, I'll say your name 500 times here if you go give somebody a roll of toilet paper. I don't give a rat's ass. But you need to, we need to look out for each other, because nobody else really is at this point. I'm not really sure what's going on with the government and with election years and everything else. But if we're not looking out for ourselves, nobody else is. So let's answer a couple questions before we hang things up here for the night. $2 super chat here or there from
Duelist.
The Duelist.
Thank you.
What is the Duelist?
I don't know. Maybe he's
You ever look at screen names and you're like, what is the story?
one that's
There's
on-
a story behind that.
the ones on Reddit are the worst.
They are the worst. But even the Duelist, there is a story behind that. Owl ID check. I know there's a story behind that, right? Everybody's screen name has a story behind it, so I love that. From the Schlute Farm and Schulet Farm and Ranch. What would you recommend for college for high schooler coming back to the farm?
I mean, that's not our paths in life, so I can't.
I know.
We have no personal experience with that.
I have a friend of mine that lives down the road. His son became a vet, and still helps out on the farm. So there's that kind of thing. Animal husbandry.
I mean, go
don't
to
know.
school for what you want to go to school for. Otherwise, you're not going to benefit from the situation.
Oh, words of the wise. Yeah. Kyle Wessels asked if we're still doing the Patreon giveaway person every month. We are at the end of the month, and we are working on.
We haven't done it for a while, though.
We haven't. But we do have some new things coming up with Patreon that I want to get hammered out this month and get that all figured out. So, Brenda asked if we could turn one of our heifers into a milk cow after you weaned her from her calf. Is there a difference? This might be. I don't know if Dan's still
I
here.
can answer this question.
Is there a difference between Angus milk and Jersey milk?
Yeah,
Fat content, right?
And even within your different dairy breeds, there's different fat contents. You need more butter fat for depending on what you're producing. So creams, butters, cheeses, they all need a higher fat content. If you're just going for volume, I think your Holsteins, and I'm not a dairy expert, but I think your Holsteins are your largest volume, but they have a lower butter fat. An Angus cow obviously does produce milk. They produce any milk cow, any animal obviously produces their heaviest right at birth. So what I understand from the dairy industry is obviously you milk out the colostrum and then they have to test for certain things and then they go back into milk rotation. Their calves are pulled. It depends on the dairy. Some are 24 hours, some are 48 hours. Again, we're not a dairy. So like we don't wean until October, November. At that point, calves are not drinking that much, so you wouldn't get that much out of an Angus cow anyhow, even at birth. So if we waited until weaning time, we really wouldn't get that much. But you can milk an Angus. We're not raw milk drinkers.
My dad loves
Yes,
raw
we
milk.
could you can home pasteurize. I don't know if they taste any different. Obviously, the fat content is going to have a different texture and probably a different flavor. Also, what they're eating is going to determine the flavor. So
Yeah. Well, I think if the crap hit the fan, I would bring Bambi in and I would milk Bambi.
but we don't need milk to
No.
survive.
No, we don't.
I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like a lot of the stuff that like the chip aisle was pretty empty.
Does anybody ever died from lack of
I mean,
Pringles?
like the ramen and stuff. Like it just kills me when I walked in the ramen aisle because I was like, in the end of the world, like I don't want my last meal to be ramen. Like buy something good.
in the end of the world, your last meal will be ramen. I mean, haven't you watched The Walking Dead?
No, I'm gonna get the big thing of pudding and sit on the roof and eat the pudding. Yeah, I mean, if we were gonna do dairy, I would get a Holstein and I would get a Jersey.
For sure.
Holstein for volume, Jersey for your fat, because I would really want to do like cheese.
All right, so here's your chance to, and I'll follow you. But if you were going to address a number of people about the COVID-19 and how to proceed for the next week, because we'll be back on Sunday. Trust me, we will.
We'll have a new update.
We'll be right here. I'll have a new shirt on, Mark, and we'll have a brand new update. But for the next week, if you were going to tell people, like, how would you conduct yourself for the next week in the face of all the crap that's going along with this, whether it's hoarding, whether it's whatever, government, politics, conspiracy, aliens coming down to poop on your head, whatever it may be, what would you tell people?
I mean, I would just stay calm. And like I would probably try and stay out of public if you can avoid it. Like you don't need to be going to Walmart every day. Be kind to your neighbor.
Yeah.
I will say when I was in the grocery store, everyone was very polite, even though it was very busy. Not like overwhelming, like Thanksgiving busy.
Isn't Thanksgiving like the busiest time in the grocery store?
It was busy. I couldn't find a cart.
That's
But
crazy.
if you've done grocery shopping for Thanksgiving and you've waited till like Tuesday, you know what I'm talking about. You don't ever do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and stay off social media. I think that's a big thing too that we could all benefit from. Like stay off of Instagram, stay off of Facebook, stay off of Twitter. Like learn what you need to learn. Go to the internet for what you need to go for the internet for. But like
We all have that
stay away
person.
from
We
the
all have that
pandemic.
person in our life that like obsesses over that too and makes the craziness bigger, right? Like you always have that person that's like calling you every 10 minutes going, "Oh my gosh, did you hear that, this happened?" And you're just like, "Oh my gosh, now I'm insane too."
I've
Like,
got some friends on Facebook that some of their reactions are surprised me. Like the ones that are freaking out, I was like, "Oh, I did not expect that."
yeah.
And some people are like, "Everything's fine." I'm like, "I did not expect that from you."
Yeah.
Yeah. Wash your hands.
Yeah.
Stay home if possible.
Keep your family, keep your friends, keep everybody safe that you can. One thing that I would suggest to people, and I've actually felt better once I've done this, and this involves the internet. Search for articles about people that have had coronavirus. Read how it affected them. Read how there was some people are like, I wasn't even sure I was sick. Like, I don't even know what happened. Yes, I was quarantined, but I had a fever and I didn't really feel that bad. If you feel like you don't know what's coming and you feel that uncertainty, go and research that. Find out. Don't let people put crap in your ears that you don't want to hear. Put stuff in your ears that you want to hear. Read what you want to read, and make sure you read what is going to make you feel better about yourself and the situation that you're in. Don't let other people drag you down, and don't let the media or anything else tell you what you need to know. You are smart enough to go and figure it out for yourself. So, and it's easy. We all have access to millions of people's thoughts and ideas. You can go and read them for yourselves. We read actually some very interesting articles from even people in China that were coming out of quarantine
And
now.
Wuhan and stuff. Yeah, it's interesting to look for other perspectives and not just the scary stuff. Try and read this. Be educated and informed, but also look for the good too.
Also, go and watch a video with Gloria Gaynor, and she's singing "I Will Survive" as she washes her hands. Probably the best video on the internet right now. So go wash your hands, hug your family, and be thankful that you have what you have.
I want to say Tam Taz said they're out of Dove dark chocolate. I did buy extra chocolate when I was
Did you
at
buy
the
extra
store.
chocolate? If it all goes to hell, chocolate and toilet paper apparently is going to be coffee is going to be what's worth it. So yeah, take it easy. Just research what you can, find out what you can, and be smart about what you do. Don't get caught up in the mob mentality. You don't need 5 million rolls of toilet paper. Nobody spends that much time in the bathroom, and if you do, you should probably consult a doctor. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight. We do appreciate it. We will see you next time right here on Beyond the Ranch. We'll be back next Sunday, same time, same bat channel. Tuesday coming up, we're going to take a look at the fence work, which I've been doing, which has been just a total nightmare. But we'll take a look at that. We'll get that figured out. Other than that, you have anything coming up that you want to talk about?
No.
All right,
I'm
then.
just going to keep growing stuff, and farm store will stay open.
Keep doing what you do. Thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll see you next time right here on Beyond the Ranch. I'm not sure how to stop this one yet. I'm still learning.
So awkward.
I know, right? So there's